What is going on, guys? Welcome to a new vlog. Today we are here at the storage unit. Oh yeah. What else do you need, man?
Oh, dude, yeah,
Bro,
man.
this is one of 5 storage units, bro. We got this one right here, bro. You know,
Oh,
top
yeah.
of the line.
The vibrates.
It's that shit that fucking vibrates, man.
Serious?
Yeah.
Just throwing that in. Be like,
Yeah, here, you can just fucking have this thing. We just got done selling some treadmills, and we've actually been selling a lot of equipment lately. Jonathan and I, we've been selling a lot of cool stuff. We actually just bought another gym last week, and we have 5 of these. So kind of like, let me show you what everything looks like in here. It's a mess. So we're trying to be as organized as possible, but it's a little bit challenging just because we have a lot of equipment, you know, that we purchased over the last month, and we have 5 of these full of equipment. But yeah, we try to organize this as best as possible, try to create a small little walkway where we can kind of like come in. When customers come in, they have access to seeing and viewing everything that we have, right? But yeah, this is where we have some stuff, and like I mentioned, we do have 5 of these. We're gonna kind of like take all this in there. So once we're done with that, I want to show you guys some of the stuff that we have, other storage unit, because we have over $100,000 worth of equipment in 5 storage units. So let me kind of like show you guys what that looks like, right? And if you know anybody, or if you're looking for some equipment, hit your boy up. I got you, all right? Let's put all this stuff in there, and we'll show you guys around. I'll just pay you.
What? Oh, okay. What's that?
Am I allowed to cuss on video?
I do.
Yeah, right. All right, guys, storage unit number 2. This is where we have some of the pin selected stuff and some hammer string plate loaded. These are actually some pretty cool machines, man. You know, it kind of sucks whenever you see a gym shut down, but on our end, you know, we like it because we go in there and we buy all their stuff, right? And then we put it up for a good price and people purchase it and we all make money and we're all happy, right? Look at all these stuff. Like, some of this stuff is brand new. So the new gym that we just bought, it was an Anytime Fitness. It never opened because I think they were trying to open during COVID. Something happened. They ended up not opening, and all this was just sitting there for literally years. We went in there, we purchased everything. We got everything for a pretty good price, you know, as best as we could, really, because everything is brand new. So we couldn't really mess with the price too much. We paid a little bit too much for the stuff, but it's in really, really good condition. We're selling everything pretty cheap, in my opinion. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, so I know what cheap equipment usually goes for. And this is pretty cheap because of the condition that it's in, right? So we got chest press right here. We got this one. I was actually thinking about putting this thing in my current gym, Roman Empire gym, but I ran out of space. So we're gonna put it up for sale. I think somebody's actually picking this thing up today, right, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody's actually picking this thing up here in a little bit. We're gonna be here for quite some time still. Right here, we got the hammer string shoulder press, which is one of my favorite shoulder pieces. I currently have one, and I suggest that you have one as well if you don't already. Right over here, we got another hammer string, ISO row, a plate loaded row. We got some benches back there, a nitro tricep extension, a Star Trek, which actually used to be the old Flex Fitness chest press. I have a Flex Fitness version of this at the gym. People love it. And yeah, so this is pretty much what we got in storage number 2. I do wish the storage units were a little bit big because we have them literally spread out everywhere. So now let's go check out storage number 3. Here we got this Live Fitness 8-stack. So this thing brand new usually goes for about $16,000, $17,000. And you usually have to wait on shipment and all that stuff, you know, the manufacturing time period. But here, obviously, you can just purchase this. It's in brand new condition. I was honestly surprised that none of this got used, I guess, which is great for us, right? This is probably the highest ticket item that we have out of everything that we purchased from that gym. So we're hoping to sell this pretty quick. I believe it's for sale for $10,000? $12,000. $12,000. So yeah, if you guys know anybody, let me know. We got some turf over here too. This one's already sold though. We're just waiting for somebody to come pick it up. We got some plates. We got some racks, kettlebell racks, medicine ball racks back here. And we also got a whole circuit of Live Fitness pin selected pieces right here. So this is one of them. This is kind of like the assisted pull-up, but just kind of like, let me show you guys how clean all this looks. It's literally brand new. While we were moving it, we were trying to be as cautious as possible so that way we didn't scratch anything or mess up any of the plastics or anything like that. So in storage number 4, we actually got the rest of these pieces. So let me take you guys there real quick. This is gonna be our storage number 4. We got a lot of high ticket items in here too. We're actually trying to sell this whole circuit together, but that's gonna be very challenging because a lot of people might just want 1 or 2 pieces from this set. So we are gonna be separating as well. Obviously, whenever we separate, full sets, we usually sell them for a little bit more expensive, but the goal is to sell everything together. That way we're not kind of like sitting on machines. We also got this 2 badass racks. You can put dumbbells, kettlebells, and all that stuff in here. 2 bands. These things are actually really nice. I think they retail for like $5,000 each brand new. So yeah, this is it's so crazy how expensive some of these things are, But yeah, this thing, like I said, crazy condition, brand new. We got a bicep, kind of just like a bicep curl, but you can do 1 arm at a time. We got a kickback, pec deck, leg extension, hamstring curl, another chest press, a leg press. Yeah, this is a really, really, really good set. And we're actually in talks with another gym. It's actually a Snap Fitness that closed in, what was that location?
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
In Louisiana, yeah. So hopefully that goes through. If we can make that purchase, we're actually gonna go pick everything up tomorrow or this weekend. Like whenever we buy equipment like this, we have to move as fast as possible, because there's a lot of people that are trying to get into doing all this stuff because there's a lot of money in it, right? So I've mentioned this in previous videos. This is what I used to do a long time ago. This is how I was able to save up for my first gym. And as I was buying machines, I was putting machines aside that I wanted for my future gym, right? Because the goal was to open up a gym eventually. And it took me 3 years to gather up all the pieces. And also during that time frame, I was buying and selling, And one of the things with this business is you have to move really, really fast. You have to go there, pick everything up. It is a lot of like physical labor, but once you get into the process where you start reselling everything, it pays off because of if you buy everything at a very, very like low amount and then you sell everything for 2 or 3 times the amount that you purchase it for, and you have a ridiculous amount of equipment, then obviously that's when you really start making money. And I think we're getting kind of like to that point where we're starting to gather, a reasonable amount of pieces. And now we're just getting to the reselling side of it. And it's fun. I like it. I don't like moving it.
Yeah, no.
Getting all this stuff in here is a pain in the ass. But it's fucking worth it, man, and it's fun. And this is our last storage right here. Storage number 5. We got some Precor, pin selected. We also got some Precor ellipticals over there. I believe we got like a lot of them. So the 24-hour fitness that we bought, the first one that we bought, had a bunch of those. So now we're just sitting around with them. So at this point, we're just kind of like trying to get rid of them. You can't keep cardio equipment in a humid place like this. So yeah, these right here are more for like, kind of like for classes. They got the little barbells. We got the weights in another storage unit. Those are pretty cool. We got an AV piece here. We got a half rack. We got a Smith machine. We got a full squat rack right here. I actually really like this one. It's made by Atlantis, and it's really nice. Very heavy, very, very heavy. We have a Flex Fitness half rack over here as well too. And this thing right here, I don't know what brand this is, but it's Chinese. It's not made here in America, so we're just trying to get rid of this thing right here. It's kind of like a abductor-adductor combo. Yeah, Smith machine. I actually like this Smith machine. And nobody has bought it yet, surprisingly, as nice as it is. It's good. Look at this. Beautiful. Brand new. Brand spanking new. And yeah, we got more ellipticals back here. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We've sold a lot of these stuff already. We had a lot of equipment. It's crazy because as we get the equipment, the goal is to try to sell it as fast as possible. So as we're loading everything up in the truck and transporting it, we're literally putting everything up for sale. We're reaching out to all the gym owners that, we have access to, and we try to get this out before it even reaches, the storage units. And that's what you got to do, man. You got to act fast, And luckily, I got a good partner, to do this. Jesus.
I was about to say, who's the guy?
Who's that guy? No, yeah, it's hard to do this shit on your own, man. It really is. You need some help. I tried doing this by myself when I first started, and I freaking failed. Like moving this stuff by yourself is horrible. Listing everything, meeting up with customers, like it takes up a lot of time because sometimes somebody might reach out and they want to buy, one piece. You show up and you don't hear from them again, right? They don't show up. They don't like text you back or anything. And unfortunately, that's just kind of like part of it. So there's so much time that's wasted when it comes to that side of things. But luckily, there's two of us now, so this is a lot faster. Everything's a lot smoother. My goal is to, our goal is to get rid of this as fast as possible. Obviously, that's where we're trying to sell everything cheap and make our money back, make some profits, move on to the next freaking deal. Yeah. That's it, man.
Nice, dude. You look like an angel in this light.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Just got done doing 30 minutes of cardio. Oh man, I had to get it done. It's kind of late actually. It is currently 10:35 p.m. and we had a really, really busy day today. But just to kind of like give you guys a little insight on what I'm trying to do as far as my health goes. I've been really trying to lose, some weight. Back in January of this year, I was at my highest. I was weighing 186 pounds. And I guess for me, I'm 5'7". That's probably the heaviest I've ever been. And not in a good way. Like, I just wasn't very happy with the way I looked. Which is crazy because when I was younger, I used to care about that so much. I used to always want to be lean. I was always like sticking to a meal plan, but nowadays it's getting a little more challenging just because of everything that's been going on, with work and trying to do a second location. And, now we're selling gym equipment, and we have been for the past month and a half. There's just like a lot of little things to like juggle around. And recently I had a little baby boy, and it's been a huge blessing, and it's definitely just literally transformed my life in such a positive way, right? Like when I was younger, I used to like be so like scared of having kids. You have like this idea, and now that I have one, it's like the complete opposite. It's awesome. It really, really is. If you're a parent, if you're a dad, a mom, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't, just wait. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just can't keep, doing this to myself, where I just kind of like throw myself in the back burner and I don't take care of me. And I feel like there's like so many people relying on me, not just at home, but at work, like members, staff members, managers, and I feel like I just have to be at my best. And right now I'm not really chasing, like, I don't really care for like abs. I just want to feel good. And I was not feeling good at all when I was 186 pounds. This morning I woke up at 165.2, and I'll put a screenshot of it right here. So I was actually really excited about that. And actually kind of, whenever you start seeing progress, it motivates you more to go and like hit the cardio, hit the weights. And lately that's kind of like what's been happening. Whenever we have days where we have to like move a lot of gym equipment and we have to do a lot of obviously physical work, I don't hit the weights, but I still come in here and I do my cardio. I've been trying to do anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes a day on the Stairmaster. I actually just went and bought this thing right here, and it's just nice having it in your garage. Now that I actually have, a home that I just purchased last year, I can actually do whatever I want in here in the garage. And now I'm kind of like setting everything up. I'll show you guys here what I'm talking about. So here we got like a little Bosey ball. We got a Stairmaster. We got a bike. We got some weights right over here. I'll go ahead and show you guys basically what the whole gym looks like. Oh yeah, We got a Honda. We're driving a now. We got a bike, cable crossover. This thing's gonna be leaving soon. Hopefully. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got here in my garage.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here.
And I know I haven't actually talked about this, but I'll go ahead and talk about it right now. I sold my Lamborghini Huracan Evo. I sold that thing at the end of last year. Whoa, it's a little dark. I sold that thing last year, and I sold my TRX. I used that money for this next project that I'm working on. So I use all that money to go towards the next project, which actually the amount of money that I actually have invested in the second project, it's really not high, just because I was kind of like I hate talking about numbers just because it's not really what I want the channel to be about. Just like sometimes it can come off as like bragging or whatever, but I mean, there's really nothing to brag about here. Let me fix this. Here we go. Yeah, so back in 2022, I bought the Lamborghini Huracan Evo. It was a pre-owned. I bought it at, I believe it had a little over 2,000 miles when I got it. And I bought the car for $304,000, which at the time, I guess it wasn't that bad, or I didn't think it was bad at all, right? You just have to ask yourself, right? Whenever you go into doing things like that, you know you're gonna lose money. So it's like, well, how much money are you actually willing to lose? I personally, like, if I'm gonna buy something like that, I forget that I even have equity in that thing. To me, all that is just gone, right? But last year in November, I believe, is when I sold it. I was able to sell it back to the dealership for $230,000. So I lost $74,000 in that thing, which again, I used it for over 2 years. So I had a lot of fun in it. Definitely worth it, right? I don't regret that. And same thing with my TRX. I actually bought my TRX last year, 2023. I bought it brand new. It was a 2023, and I bought it for $103,000. I sold it back to the dealership for $83,000. So we lost a little bit of money on that one. I feel like I lost more money in the TRX than I did the Lambo, if I'm doing the math right. But yeah, so that's gone. I took that money, and that's going towards the future project number 2, gym number 2. If you haven't been following along, then you know that we're working on Roman Empire Gym, a second location for it, closer to Houston, like a lot of you guys have been requesting. And yeah, that's literally what I've been doing. Let me put this up real quick. Woo, we're gonna put this right here. My hand is tired. But yeah, that's basically what's been going on in the personal life. You know, now we're driving a Honda. We have a baby boy now, and I am a dad, a very proud dad, and I'm trying to get myself back in shape. And let me tell you, it's been tough. I'm 30 years old now, and everything that I used to hear about 30-year-old man when I was 20s, when I was in my early 20s, it's most of it is true, okay? So definitely take care of yourself if you're young, and just kind of like maintain that as best as possible, because the older you get, it's a little bit more challenging to get back in shape. But we're doing pretty good. We've lost over 20 pounds over the past 4 months, really, because I actually started hitting it hard 4 months ago. Which really, if I was to actually stick to an actual meal plan for longer than a month, because I like to do, I've been doing like where I stay consistent for 3 to 4 weeks. I'm really trying to push it for 4 weeks, but if like the cravings are really bad, then I do have a cheat meal, right? Because I'm not trying to step on stage. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder or any of that, right? And I just feel like right now I'm just more focused on actually feeling good, right? The goal that I'm trying to kind of like get to, the weight goal, is 155 pounds. So we're literally just 10 pounds away from getting there. Once I get there, I'll see how I feel, I see how I look, and if I feel like I can push a little bit more, then I'll go ahead and, lose a couple more pounds, and I just want to feel good, So that's kind of like the plan. And yeah, everything's been really, really good. The gym's been awesome. The gym's been freaking growing every single month. We did have like a slow kind of like 2 months, I think. Yeah, 2 months, and then April came. We had a whole open gym for a whole week, and it was packed. And after that, it's been kind of like we kind of like broke that little sticking point that we were going through, and now everything is good. Everything's kind of like flowing again, which it's great because as I'm stepping away from being in there, every day like I used to, I'm trying to kind of like let it do its thing a little bit. It's kind of like a baby when it's kind of like walking and you're scared it's gonna fall, right? And you're constantly there. That's where I was with the gym, because I've been doing this for 7 years, every single day, nonstop. So to give control to someone else, or to other people, it's a little challenging because I'm so used to doing things a certain way. And although I'm going in there and I'm teaching everybody how to do everything, because I've done everything. I've done maintenance on equipment, I've done cleaning, I've done front staffing, overnight, I've been manager, I've been like literally all the roles. I was wearing all the hats at some point, so no, I know exactly how I want things to be done. So teaching those things has been a little bit complicated, just because I just wasn't really used to molding people and like hiring people, and I just had to step back, and I brought somebody else that did know how to do those things. So instead of me going in there and teaching everybody, I just had to teach that one individual exactly how I want things to be done. And she is great. She's been going in there hiring people if we need to, improve someone's skills, and we spend a little bit more time with them. If the individual just doesn't fit, kind of like what we're going for, our standards, we unfortunately have to part ways with them. But at the end of the day, we have to do what's better for our members, and we have to do what's better for the gym, right? Because the front staff person is literally the face of the gym. So we want to make sure that when somebody walks in, their experience is great, and their experience starts there at the front desk, right? So I have been spending a little bit more money on developing a better team, but that is the only way we're ever going to scale, right? Like, I like this quote. I don't know who said it, right? I don't really read books or anything like that, but it's like, if you are working for your business and you don't have a business, you have a job, right? Like, you're just an employee to the business. And I've been thinking about that a lot. And for me to actually be able to scale and to be able to be, I have this idea of where I want Roman Empire Gym to be, and I want to see, a lot of them all over Texas. Maybe eventually one day even, outside of Texas. Like that's my end goal, and I can't do that if I don't start right now. Building systems, building processes, documenting everything, making sure that everybody that we bring in is aligned with the brand, with our standards, and everybody in there has, we have high expectations for everybody that comes in. So we just want to make sure that we take care of that first. And that's literally what I've been working on for the past 2 years, because the goal was to expand. And whenever you're thinking about expansion, it's not just like, oh, let's go ahead and open up a second spot, and we're gonna spend this amount of money. Sometimes it's not even about the money. It's like, can your team handle that first spot, right? Are you able to expand, and making sure that the first, in this instance, like Roman Empire Gym, doesn't lose the quality of customer service that we've been able to provide so far, right? And can we replicate that in the second spot, right? Because if you haven't figured this one out and you jump into a second project, well, you're going to be juggling 2 projects, right? And you're going to be split in half, and you're going to be very miserable. And I didn't want to run into those issues. So I know a lot of business owners that have multiple businesses. So I've been able to talk to them a little bit, get their feedback, and at the end of the day, I think that every entrepreneur, every business owner should be a business owner and not be so involved with the actual company to where the company can't operate without the owner, right? So yeah, just a little rant. You know, it's late. I need to get some sleep. We're gonna be up early in the morning because we still got a long week. We still got a very, very long week. Today is Wednesday. Let me see what date it is. May 28th, Wednesday, May 28th, and it's almost, fuck, we're like halfway through the year almost. It's crazy. It really is. Time is just flying, so we gotta act now. If you've been wanting to do something, you're procrastinating, you gotta do it, man. Whatever it is, you gotta start right now. Otherwise, time's gonna pass you by. You're gonna look back. You're gonna be in the same freaking spot, man. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. If you watched the whole video, thank you so much. You're awesome. Make sure to comment down below. Show some love to your boy. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, peace.